Okay, so today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, the creative impetus, and chapter 13, the further talks between King Raghuna and Jadabharata, and we are reading the verse 14. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tamstan vipannan sahitatra tatra vihaya jatam parigraha sardha avartate ajyapina kaschidatra viradhavan param upateti yogam tamstan vipannam sahitatra tatra vihaya jatam parigraha sardha avartate ajapina kaschidatra viradhavanaha param upayati yogam tamstan vipannam sahitatra tatra vihaya jatam parigraha sardha avartate ajapina kaschidatra viradhavanaha param upayati yogam. Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to recite? Please welcome.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, I am trying.
Yes, please.
Tamstan vipannan shohi tatra tatra vihaya jatam parigrihya sharthaha avartate yaddapi na kaschidatra viradhanaha parama upaiti yogam. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, please welcome.
Tamstan vipannan shohi tatra tatra vihaya jatam parigrihya sartha avartate adyapi na kaschidatra viradhanaha param upaiti yogam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I am also trying.
Yes, Mataji, please. Dandavat.
Tangstan vipannang sahi tatra tatra vihaya jatang parigriha sartha avartate hadapi na kaschid datra viradhana param upaiti yogam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody would like to go for synonyms?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Tan, all of them, Viponnan, embarrassed in various ways, saw the living being, he certainly, Tatra, here and there, Vihaya, giving up, Jatam, those who are newly born, Porigrahya, taking, saw Artha, the living being searching for his own interest, Avartate, wanders in this forest, Adya Opi, even until now, no, not, Kaschid, any of them, Atra, here in this forest, Pira, O hero, Advana, Adhyana, of the path of material life, Param, the ultimate end, Upaiti, gates, Yogam, the process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody would like to read translation and purport?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'll read the translation. My dear king, on the forest path of material life, first a person is bereft of his father and mother, and after their death he becomes attached to his newly born child. In this way, he wanders on the path of material progress and is eventually embraced. Nonetheless, no one knows how to get out of this, even up to the moment of death. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Anybody would like
Krishna.
to
Yeah, I can read the purport. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this material world, family life is in institution of sex. Yan Maithunadi Grihamedhi Sukham. Bhagavatam 7.9.45. Through sex, the father and mother beget children, and the children get married and go down the same path of sexual life. After the death of the father and mother, the children get married and beget their own children. Thus, generation after generation, these things go on in the same way without anyone's attaining liberation from the embarrassment of material life. No one accepts the spiritual process of knowledge and renunciation, which end in Bhakti Yoga. Annually, human life is meant for Jnana and Vairagya, knowledge and renunciation. Through these, one can attain the platform of devotional service. Unfortunately, people in this age avoid the association of liberated people, sadhu sangha, and continue in their stereotyped way of family life. Thus, they are embarrassed by the exchange of money and sex. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. I'll read translation one more time. My dear king, on the forest path of material life, first a person is bereft of his father and mother, and after their death, he becomes attached to his newly born children. In this way, he wanders on the path of material progress and is eventually embraced. Nonetheless, no one knows how to get out of this, even up to the moment of death. Thank you so much. I'm stopping the sharing. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायस्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवति सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरियत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं। श्री चैतन्य चन्द्रेश्वरं। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So we are reading the verse 14 in the chapter 13. We have been discussing, we have been hearing the pastimes of Bharat Maharaja in the form of king, in the form of deer, in the form of Brahmana, Jadabharata. So in previous chapters, we saw how the point came where Jadabharata started instructing King Rahugana. So when he was carrying palanquin, King chastised Jadabharata, why you are not carrying properly? So you are so lazy. So he was talking on bodily concept. That's where Jadabharata started talking to King Rahugana. He was instructing in so many ways regarding the soul and so ways to find out the absolute truth. What is absolute truth? So many things. In between, King Rahugana got so overwhelmed, confused. So these concepts he couldn't understand, was confused. He was asking, what is soul? How we can understand absolute truth? So many questions, inquiries on these topics. Then Rahugana, he started giving more information about the soul and about the absolute truth. So, you know, the Paramahamsa, Jadabharata, even though he is in the body of Brahmana, so just like a mad and dumb man, he is self-realized. So he is a Paramahamsa, transcendentalist. He is completely absorbed in the service of Lord inside. So they know how to deliver, what instructions to give type of people. Even we studied in the previous canto also. Prachina Barha was instructed by Narada Muni in the form of allegory. His own characters are explained in the form of allegory. So Narada Muni knows how to give the instructions to particular set of disciples. Here also we can see Jadabharata knowing the interests, knowing the needs, knowing the mood of King Rahugana. He started giving the instructions which is very relevant to the life we are leading, we are surviving in this material world. So very, very related analogy is given. So when something is instructed through the analogy, it is very easy to understand. So especially here, Jadabharat was giving the instructions and comparing the style the King Rahugana was leading, the material life, compared with the forest life. Very relevant analogy. With the relevant analogy, he was explaining things which are very confused to King Rahugana. Here we can see the conditioned soul entrapped by material world, and it does so many activities under the influence of three modes, sattva, rajo, tamo gunas. And the conditioned soul, it struggle for existence and see so many activities like which are some are auspicious, some are inauspicious, some are mixed. And they are attracted to the four type of things, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So they want to, they adopt one religiosity, and they earn, they make money. If they make money, they enjoy, and if they get time, so they think about the liberation. That too, monism, that means merging into Brahman, that type of liberation. So not beyond this. So they don't understand beyond this, there is something else. They are engrossed by these qualities. Here also we can see in the previous verses, Jadabharat was explaining some instructions through the analogy. So he compared the material existence, material life, material sufferings, material worries, miseries compared with forest life. Just like conditioned soul enter into the material existence and struggling with different aspects. In the same way, in the analogy, the forest life, merchant enters into the forest for collecting so many goods for selling, for the survival. So he thinks, when I collect these things, so I sell them and I get more money so that I can survive, I can enjoy. In this mood, he enters into the forest. There he was collecting. So while collecting, just like a conditioned soul, while surviving, so feel, experiences so many disturbances. In the same way, the merchant also in the forest experience so many difficulties. So it's compared with plunders like jackals. So wild animals, tigers, they attack him. He cannot collect things. They are in the same way, conditioned soul also with uncontrolled senses. These splendors are uncontrolled senses compared with the wild animals in the forest. So, like a children, wife, relatives. So even though he's working so hard, they depend on his money. They take all the money. He has to work so hard to satisfy them, to maintain the relation, to maintain wife, children, had to struggle a lot. In the same way, he imagines so many things. He make skyscrapers. So illusionary, imaginary Gandharvapura. So it is said in the verse Gandharvapura. So they make some illusory mansions. They imagine. So that means they are in the illusion. And also they bitten by so many mosquitoes. They bitten by the sharp edges of the grass also given. In the same way, this conditioned soul also, they are bitten by so many envious people around them. The material existence means there is a envious among the people. To maintain the relation, they expect something. If they don't fulfill their expectations, they form enmity among the people. The enmity continues like this. And also, the whirlwind also compared. The whirlwind is compared with the lusty desires. So the attraction between male and female, that is also explained like this. So many analogies. There is similarities between our existence and the life in the forest. The forest life is so dangerous actually, with lots of dangerous things. In the same way, the material existence also, it seems to be like enjoyment, but with so many difficulties. Here also in these words, in the particular verse also, Prabhupada is explaining the material existence, it's never ends actually, never ends. So continually, so the parents, they give birth to children. Once they grow, when they pass away, the children, the son, daughters, they continue their existence. They also get married. So they produce children and they attracted to the children. They struggle hard to maintain children and wife. In this way, generations after generation, this existence continues without knowing anything further. So they think the life we had taken birth to enjoy only, to eat, to sleep, like sleeping, eating, mating, defending. There are four principles, similar principles, animals and human beings. So nothing else. There is no inquiry for themselves why they are suffering, why they are getting troubles, why I am here. So what happens when I leave this body? So they are not having the any soul concept, and they are on the bodily platform. So here in this purport, I can see three important points explained by Srila Prabhupada. First, we will see the characteristics of material life. So how, what is that miseries, what are that survival, why they are suffering like this. And the second one, the human life is meant for not like struggling like animals, for enjoyment like animals. It's for higher realization, to get jnana and vairagya. And also third point Prabhupada mentioned here is, without lacking of sadhu's association, we cannot advance, we cannot realize all these spiritual aspects. So these are the 3 points covered in this small purport. And I'll start first with the characteristics of material life. So as we discussed, the conditioned soul enters into this existence and struggle for continuing. So there are so many disturbances like relatives, family, so maintaining the relations and earning, and they have to struggle a lot. If you want to earn, they have to get up in the morning, they have to travel for long distances to get work. And when they get the salary, they have to buy so many things. If it is not enough, they have to work more hours, they get tired. So they don't have any other time to realize the self-realization, to realize about the soul, to realize about the God. They are so busy, they so engrossed in the busy life. So in this regard, we can see in the first canto, second chapter, so there are few verses. It says about Gruhamedi life. So there are two types of Grahastha and Gruhamedis. Grahasthas are they have a life. So both husband and wife together, they work for spiritual realization. Even though they are in the material world, even though they are leading the material life, so they can both balance, and they try to realize the material, so try to realize the spiritual aspects. So they work together. That is the Grihastha ashram actually. And the other type of people in the Grihastha life, they don't worry about the Brahman realization, self-realization. They always engrossed in the material enjoyment, sense gratification only. So here they say, apasyatam atmatattvam gruheshu grahamedinam. So apasyatam means they forget, they bereft of atmatattva. So because they forgot about the atmatattva, God, they always engrossed. They talk about so many other things, not about God. No, there is no spiritual talks. When they get together, they talk about politics. They talk about the scientific inventions, sports, jewelry, clothes, like this, money, how to expand money, how to earn more, these ideas. So the topics are so vast for the Grahamadis. So they don't have a time to talk about spirituality. So that is the first characteristic of Gruhamedi. Gruhamedi, Medi means envious. So when they expect something from the relative, something from the family, so the whole relations runs with some expectations. If the expectations are not made, so what they get envious. They fight for their rights, fight for things, fight for the properties. So they got envious mentality. So in this inverse mentalities, they pass their lives without God realization. They sleep in the morning. They work so hard in the morning. They sleep at nights, and in the sex indulgences. So that is the actual life of Brahmadis. And also they cry for material enjoyment. They hanker for material enjoyment. There is no hankerment for the God realization, because they think these children, the family members, these are the fallible soldiers. So here Sukadeva Goswami was explaining like fallible soldiers. They help at the end. When they are in the difficulty, when I am in the difficulty, they all come and help. So what is the difficulty? The difficulty is Anchakale. So they think at the time of death, they all come and protect me. They don't have a faith on Lord. So in this way, Grahamedis, they spend lots of time for the enjoyment, lots of hankering for the enjoyment. So they don't come out of that, and they don't give time for God realization. In this way, they continue their lives with the desires and the desires and desires. With the desires, if they are not fulfilled, they take birth again. So birth after birth after birth, they are continuing the existence, struggle for existence like this. And in the Prahlad Maharaj also, the 7th canto, 5th chapter, 30th verse, he says, Adanta Gobir Visatam Tamisram Punar Punar Charvitam Charvinanam. So he is already, this material existence is so squeezing our blood, squeezing our energy. So they are still, they want to enjoy, they want to get some happiness out of it, even though they struggle like camel, like an ass. So they struggle, they want to enjoy. They think that is the real happiness. So struggling, even though they are working so hard, they think that is the enjoyment. If they get salary after 1 month, they feel so happy. So temporary happiness, they work so hard for temporary happiness. So these, even though they are squeezed, their blood, their energy, they work so hard. So Adanta Gobir Vistam Tamisram, with uncontrolled senses, they work so hard, it will lead to go to hellish conditions. Tamisra means hellish conditions. They work so hard to go to hellish conditions. So the same activities, if they perform to realize God, they get to they get opportunity to go to higher planetary system, but they are not trying it. They are always with uncontrolled senses. They are doing the activities, especially they are involved in the activities like wine, drinking alcohols, and cheating, in the gambling, and sex with opposite gender. Like this, they always spending time to enjoy the things, uncontrolled senses. They make progress towards hellish conditions, and they are not in a mood to inquire anything about Brahman, Atato Brahma Jijnasa. It's not happening because they are using uncontrolled senses for the material enjoyment. And also in this purport, Prabhupada is saying that 7.9.45. So sex life is like a rubbing two hands to get relief from the itching. So it is saying, En Maithanim Grahame Sakam Tucham. It is insignificant. Prabhupada is saying that this enjoyment is very insignificant, because if you go on itchy, you don't relieve the wind. So you want to itch more and more. If you are adding fire to the ghee to the fire, it will go on burning. In the same way, there's a material, the lusty desires never get satisfied. Even though you are trying to satisfy, it go on increases. It never get satisfied. You want more and more, more and more. If you don't fulfill it, you get frustration and you get anger like this. If you fulfill, you want more, become more greedy. Like this sex life is compared with rubbing two hands to relieve is. So they think this is the happiness. This is they don't have what is the real happiness, what is the higher taste. They don't have that. They are engrossed with little temporary happiness. Kandu yenena, that means itching. So they are itching again and again, again and again, without any relief. And also in the fifth canto, Rishabhadev says in the fifth chapter, eighth verse, Pumsa Sriya Metana Bhavena Etam. So the main principle of this material existence is the attraction between male and female. Because of this, their hearts are tired. They find a bond. They get bondage and they produce children, and the attraction goes towards children. To maintain children, again they work so hard. So in this way, they struggle for existence and they hanker for their enjoyment and how to mm, give nice comforts to family, how to give nice comforts to myself, how to give nice comforts to my body. So they think always on the bodily platform, and they want to give the comforts to their family. Sometimes if they extend to society also, sometimes they extend to nation also, not beyond that. So they don't understand what is the real satisfaction, what is the real happy, and what is the aim of the life. So as a human form of life, so there is a goal, so that is getting the perfection. So what is that goal? They don't understand, because they are always revolving around to satisfy the opposite sex, and so they think that is the life of enjoyment. In this way, these are the characteristics of material love. So here conditioned soul is struggling a lot to maintain the relationship, to earn and to enjoy, to maintain the body. So like this, so on the bodily platform. So in this here, the root cause of all this is, mainly the ignorance. Root cause is mainly because of ignorance. They are having sense gratification. It comes from the ignorance. When Brahma, he was creating the living entities, before he creates four Kumaras, so he just created 5 types of ignorance. Why he created 5 types of ignorance? Because the creation has to continue. Creation has to go. That means there must be some attraction for the people, so that they continue the propagation. So they have to be living entities. The propagation should go on in order to maintain this creation. So he created 5 types of ignorances. Why? Because the living entities wanted to enjoy without Lord. So because they disconnected, they lost the connection with the God, and they want to enjoy independently. If they want to enjoy independently, so they have to be in the mode of ignorance. Then only they get the desires. So even in the mode of passion, so they get the desires. In order to fulfill the desires, they have to work. They have to work. So in the sense of working, so they have to be under the spell of mode of ignorance, so that the desires will develop, the propagation will continue. In this regard, Brahma has created 5 types of ignorances. First one is tamaha. Tamaha means, so they lost their identity, real identity. They are in so ignorance that they don't know what they are, what their real identity as a servants of Lord. They lost that identity. The next one, moha. In that moha, they lost their real identity. So they have to establish some other identity so that they can survive. What is that? The some other identity is bodily identity. So first in the tamaha, they lost their identity, true identity, and they developed bodily identity, false identification. I am body. This is my family. Like this, they develop a past false identification, that is bodily identification, that is a ignorance. In the Mahamoha, the third one, the first one is Tamaha, the second one is Moha. In the Moha, they develop false identification, bodily identification. In Mahamoha, with this bodily false identification, they developed so many attachments, desires, and possessiveness. They have a possessiveness. This is mine, aham mameti. This belong to me. This is my family. So like this, Mahamoha means this is a type of ignorance where they get lots of possessiveness. It is mine. With that possessiveness, they want so many things to them also. If they don't get, the relation cut. They bring the envious among them. So they fight for that, this possessiveness. Next, Tamisra. Tamisra means here, because of that possessiveness, because of he is in the mood of acquiring things. If he doesn't fulfill the desires, he get angry. So in the Tamisra, it is a type of ignorance where he gets angry because he is not getting things as he wants. So that is Tamisra. The last one is Andhatamisra. In this fighting, in this existence, survival for existence, he lose so many things. And if he lose so many things, he get frustrated, he get anger. And even he forgets that when I die, so only my body dies, my soul doesn't die. Soul separates from the body at the time of death. Even he doesn't know the concept of soul. When I die, so I die. What happens to my property? What happens to my relatives? What happens to me? What happens to my bank balance? How my family survive without me? So because they think the death means bodily, so he doesn't know the soul never gets. So because of these 5 types of ignorance, the conditioned soul is struggling for existence. It's a never ending. It goes on. So many, it takes so many births, it takes so many bodies, sometimes a body of animal, sometimes a body of the animal, sometimes as a demigod. Like this, so many bodies it takes according to his desires, and struggle a lot. Again, start struggling in that body. So never understands because it is engrossed with enjoyment, sense gratification. It is hankering more and more for sense gratification, not for God realization. That is the defect of this conditioned life in the material existence. The second point discussed in this verse is human life is meant for jnana and vairagya. So here, there is a verse in the first chapter, first canto, second chapter, 7th verse. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojiti Janati Vasu Aragyam. So this devotional service towards the Lord, this unloyal, loving devotion service to the Vasudeva actually should bring what? Jnana and Vairagya. It is very, very essential, very, very important for the spiritual advancement. Unless you get renunciation, unless you get detached from the material things, you cannot advance in the spiritual journey. Unless you get the knowledge about the supreme, knowledge about the absolute truth, you cannot advance in the spiritual journey. So when it comes, when you get Jnana Vairagya, so when you develop the taste for serving the Lord, when your attraction towards the lotus feet of the Lord develops, then only your Jnana and Vairagya. So here, Sramayeva Kelani, the other activities are useless. Even though you are doing so many other activities to maintain family, to maintain status, to maintain your fame, positions, education, there are so many activities in the material world to maintain the relations. So all these activities are Samayeva Kevalam. Unless you develop the taste to hear the glories of Vasudeva. All these activities are there. And also in the fifth canto, Lord Rishabhadev says in the first verse, fifth chapter, first verse, Tapo Divyam, the human life is not meant for enjoying like animals, dogs and cats. It is for Tapo Divyam, for attaining the divine position of devotional service by doing the austerities. You have to perform austerities so that you can attain the position of devotional service. That is the highest designation you have to get. Not for material designations, material positions, material advancement as a post like a manager, like a president, prime minister. These are material designations. Once you lose the body, all these designations will go away. But if you have the designation like a servant of Lord, so if you have get the achievement in the devotional service, it will save you from the life after life. You can carry this devotional service, this serving mood. So birth after birth, wherever you go, you have that tendency to serve the Lord. So that is the focus of the aim of the human form of life. So attaining the highest divine position of devotion service towards the Lord. So we have to hanker for that position, actually. We don't want any other positions. And in the last one, the Prabhupada is saying that the lacking of sadhu association of sadhu. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita also it said, sadhu sangha sarva sastra lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi. Even the lava, the moment of association with the sadhus, so you can enlighten because they have seen the truth. They can give that positive vibrations, that knowledge to you, and their presence itself is very positive, very inspired, very inspiration for all of us. That's why it is very, very important, even in the nectar of instruction, Srila Rupa Gautam, Sangatyago Sato Vritti. So we have to abandon the material association and we have to follow the instructions of previous acharyas. They have given so much knowledge, so much literature to us. So how to do the devotion service, how to how to take the shelter of Guru, how to advance in the spiritual journey. They have given so much of information. If you follow them, so they are very good for us, for spiritual advancement. Even the Lord is an external energy. He has given Guru and Sadhu Shastra. So many facilities to us. So Guru, he gives the spiritual knowledge. Brahmanda Brahmite Kone, Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasad Vaye, Bhakti Lata. So even this conditioned soul wandering everywhere without any knowledge. So it goes sometimes to go to higher planets, sometimes go to lower planets without any knowledge. So just for enjoying. So Brahmanda Brahmate Kone, Bhagyavan Jiva. Why it is so fortunate? So it gets opportunity to meet a pure devotee. Then he gives that krupa to go to Lord. So Krishna shows Guru to us. Guru takes us to Krishna. So that is the relation. So we have to go to the spiritual master, go to the pure devotee and get that knowledge. It is very, very important. Even scripture says that when you go to the dham, so you have to see the sadhus, you have to hear from them, get that message, spiritual message, not just for going to take bath in the holy rivers, seeing the side places, taking darshan. Along with them, you have to take association of sadhus. Very, very important. In the third canto, 25th chapter, first and second verses, it says the characteristics of sadhu. Why we have to take the Kapil Muni, he was teaching to his mother Devahuti. He was telling So the characteristics of sadhu, why we have to take association of sadhu? There are two types of characteristics are given, primary and secondary. The primary characteristics, so is always my ananya bhavena bhaktim kurvantahi drudam. Always so determined, so fixed in the devotional service of Lord. That is the primary quality of sadhu. So he always engaged in the devotional service, and he shows that same path to others also. So we can get that process from him by approach him, render service to him, inquire him submissively. So we get that knowledge. And the secondary qualities, why we have to take the association of sadhu, that is titikshavaha karunikaha. So he is so compassionate. He is compassionate on the fallen souls. He is so tolerant. So we get that qualities. If you associate with them, the qualities, titikshava, karunaya, suhridam sarvadehinam, he is so friendly with all the living entities. So it's like a uttama bhakta. Sadhus are uttama bhaktas. So they get that qualities, and the another one is ajata satruvaha. So there are no enemies for him. See, always friendly with them, and Santa is so peaceful. So these divine qualities are sadhavaha sadhubhushana. That means these qualities are ornaments for sadhu. Ornaments for sadhu. That means, so these divine qualities are already cultivated him, embedded in him. So when you associate with sadhu, these qualities automatically comes to us. That's why it is very, very important to associate with them. His primary and secondary qualities, we can imbibe those qualities when we associate with pure devotees. And also here we can see how to hanker. The last point is how to hanker for the Lord. So not hanker for material existence. The example is given in the 6th canto of 11th chapter, the Vritasura prayers. When Vritasura, he is in the demonic form actually, but inside he is a great Brahmana and he is a pure devotee of Lord. So when he was fighting with Indra, the Vritasura, he is giving some instructions to Indra. So he is fighting, but actually he is a pure devotee. So he is waiting when that Vajrayuda come and kill me, I can go to Lord's service. So he is not puffed up with his strength. He is a great demon. He can tremble all the universe at once. So he is not interested in his position. He is not interested in material gains like Indra. But he wants something else. He wants to achieve something else. So he says, Nanaka Prishtam Naja Paramestam. I don't want anything, material grains. Na Sarva Bhaumum, na Rasadipatyam. So I don't want any sovereignty. I don't want any law to take the Lord it over anything. I don't want to become a king. So I don't want any supreme rules. I don't want to become a Brahma. Like this. Na yoga siddhi, na apuna bhavam va. So I don't want any siddhis. I don't want any liberation. What I want is samanjasatva virahaya kangshe. I am eagerly waiting separation from you, so to come back to you. So he is praying to Samanjasa. Samanjasa is who knows the source of all opportunities. Why I have to hankering for these petty opportunities in the material world? So he is the source of all the opportunities, all the sources, good and bad. So I can take the shelter of him, not on the material things. Samanjasa, he is praying to the Lord like this. He is instruction to Indra. So depend on the Lord. So these material things are temporary. Don't aim for these material things. And also he has given 3 analogies. In these analogies, we can see his hankering towards the Lord. So in the next verse he says, Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Kadaha. So just like Kagaha, the baby bird, when take a new baby bird, no wings to fly like a mother. It waits in the nest and wait when mom comes, gives some food. It opens his beak like this and waits for mother's food. Here waiting the mother for the food, not for mother's body or something else. So that hanker for that food. In the second one, Stanyam Yata Vatsarataha Kruda Artho. So here it is saying that just like when we are milking cow, the cow is tied with a rope, and that calf is waiting when I go and get the milk from my mother, and it is wanting that Vatsara means calf, is wanting for the milk and also mother's association. The second one. Third one, Priyam Priyena Vyusitam Visanna. So just like when husband goes for work, so he leaves the home for some days, sometimes he come back after few days. So wife at home, she thinks whether my husband eats or not, when he sleeps or not, whether he is properly cared or not. When he comes, I can serve him so nicely up to his satisfaction. So here, wife is waiting for husband to serve him. She is not expecting anything from mother. In the previous cases, the baby bird is waiting for something from the mother. Even it is hankering for mother to see, but expecting something. In the second one, Vatsaraha, the calf is waiting for milk and also taking association of mother. The third one, wife is not expecting anything, just to serve husband. In the same way, by taking these three analogies, in the last line, Vrisasara is saying that Mano Aravindaksha Didikshate Tvam. I just want to see your associations. Take your association and I want to serve you like this. Just like wife wants to serve husband without any expectations. I want to serve you like this. First he has given example of baby bird. It wants. So in the same way, we want, sometimes we want hankering for the Lord to get something material or spiritual, something. That is also okay. But in the next one, the coffee is waiting for the milk and also taking association. In the same way, we also sometimes hanker for the Lord's mercy and also taking association of Lord. That is also okay. The third one is, here in the first two analogies, some expectations are there. In the third one, wife is not expecting anything, wants to serve. In the same way, we have to hanker for the Lord. When I am going to serve him, I don't want anything. I just want to please him by serving. When I get that chance, Vritasara, even though he is a demon, he is hankering for that Lord service, to please the Lord, when I can go and serve him. So these prayers are giving so much inspiration, so much knowledge to us, what to hanker, what not to hanker in this material world. Even in our ISKCON centers, Prabhupada has given so much so to do. So how to, so one of the Maharajas in Vrindavan were saying, we have to open the classes for crying, for hankering the Lord. We have to teach people how to cry for the Lord, not for material things, for the spiritual advancement, how to please him, how to do service for him. So Prabhupada has opened this institute so that we can cry, we can hanker for the Lord by so many ways, by serving Lord, by preaching, by prasadam distribution, so many ways the institute is open. So every one of us should take opportunity to involve in this one of these activities, and we can improve our hankering for the Lord's service. In this way, I am finishing today's verse. Please, if you want to add please welcome to add any points. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So we have discussed the 5 types of ignorance. Because of that ignorance, we are struggling so hardly, and human life is not meant for like animalistic type of enjoyment. It's for tapodivyam, for attaining divine position of devotion service. And also we can understand you have to associate it with sadhu, so that we can imbibe those qualities, we can get that knowledge. The association of sadhu is so important. Prabhupada is given that priority for the association, Lord. And also we can understand what is the real anchor for the Lord. So real anchorment is to serve the Lord, to please the Lord, not for our material enjoyments. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to share any points, add any points?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you
Dandavat.
very much for the very nice class. You have very elaborately stated the small verse, small purport Prabhupada is given, but essentially bring out all the points from different angles. So thank you for that, for explaining the verse so nicely. A few things came to my mind, and first is, yes, you have rightly told that as has been told in this verse, that this material life, or the material life, is like a forest. Just in a forest, life is troublesome and full of danger at every step, and this material condition also. Although apparently people, because of the illusion, they think that they are safe, or they will be safe by taking, because of the bodily concept, they think that by taking help from the relatives, from friends, from the family members, they will be safe. But it never happens, as you have mentioned rightly, that it is given in second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the very first two chapters. And they think that they will be safe, but they are all defeated soldiers. They will be, in course of time, they will all prove failure, and that happiness will never come. But that is the creation, that is the illusion created by the Lord, because those who are in this material, we are in this material, Lord, we have come here because we have dissociated from the Lord, as the Lord has created a false situation for us to enjoy in such a situation, and that enjoyment will never come in the reality. So we have to realize that in this life, human life that we have got, it is a very precious opportunity we have got it, and we should make better use of it, because we have been given higher intelligence, and the purpose of higher intelligence is God realization, or realization of our spiritual situation, or that we are servant of the Lord. So for associating with the Lord, the first vehicle or the first point of contact is the devotees. Without sadhu sangha, we cannot associate with the Lord. So we have to follow their instruction, hear them properly, and whenever and because they have realized the spiritual highest truth. So we should follow. We should not speculate it. Rather, we should follow what they are telling. And in this way, by following their instruction and remain in association with the sadhus, whose life is very exemplary, we have to follow them so that we can make our self life uh, sublime, and in the finally we can go back to Godhead with their help and with their mercy, and the Lord's name, form, quality, pastimes, all is same. So if we chant properly, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is told, in this Kali Yuga, the Harinam is so powerful that if we just chant the Harinam Mahamantra perfectly without any mistake, without any offense, then we can go back to Godhead. And that is easy, at the same time difficult. And Prabhupada is also in the recent times introduced it so that we can take this opportunity and go back to Godhead.
Yeah.
And thank you for bringing out that point. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you for so many additions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanva Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dhanwad.
Thank you for elaborating this verse so nicely from so many different angles. You mentioned about the 5 ignorances that were created by Brahmaji.
Yes.
So, if I'm just looking at some other side, if the ignorance is not there, the living entity will become more enlightened. They're easy for them to go back to Godhead.
Yeah.
And if you place a candy in front of a small child, he'll be attracted. My spouse health. But it's this. So why is this ignorance created? Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. So actually, the soul, conditioned soul, so why you have taken birth? Because of our desires. So what is that? We lost our connection with the Lord. We want to lord it over. So we want to survive without God's help. So that's why we have taken birth. So when you take birth, so how you can exist? So you have to enjoy. That is your tendency. In order to enjoy, so there should be some medium. So in order to make that medium, so ignorance is created. See, in this ignorance, so there are so many things. So you lost your identity and you have created your bodily identification, the moha. So with that bodily identification, again you are getting some possessiveness. So without all this, you cannot enjoy. So if you are in the only mode of goodness, so you understand this is not my way of life. My way of life is God realization. So they look for opportunity to read scriptures, take association, advance in the spiritual things. But if they are in ignorance only, they cannot go to that and they want to enjoy. So Lord is giving facilities for both of them. In order to advance, He is giving facilities to them like a sadhus, guru, shastra, all these. So those who want to enjoy, Lord also giving facilities through the medium of ignorance. So these are the qualities of the ignorance, so that they become so attracted, they become get more and more desires, and they attract to the other sex. So in this way, the life continues, and in this way, they exist, their survival, and also they enjoy. So if the medium of ignorance is not there, they cannot enjoy it. So even Brahma realized later, so I am giving only the negative side only, ignorance. So if I am giving only ignorance, the people are misusing. They are not getting out of this and they are not getting to know the divine aspects. So later on, he created other things. So this is the only medium so that they can enjoy Prabhuji. So if they are in the mode of goodness, they definitely look for Atato Brahma Jijnasa. So who am I? Where I am coming from? They use the higher intelligence. In the mode of ignorance, they always with less intelligence on bodily platform. So hope.
Thank you, Badi, for this explanation. Yeah, it's this option for the living entity. They want to go ignorance and joy, or they want to elevate themselves to mode of goodness. The Lord gives them options. So
Yes.
because of ignorance, the living entity want to enjoy independence, so they choose to go the other side. Thank you for the explanation, Badi. Hare Krishna.
At the same time, Lord is giving opportunities like a sadhu, shastra, scriptures also. If anybody wants to come out of that ignorance, want to go ahead, it is there. Everything is there also. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, we got a few more minutes. Anybody have any reflection, thoughts, or queries? Doesn't seem to be Mataji, so we'll end the class here. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sarveshya kripa sindhu bhaya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Savitri Mataji ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for your nice class. Very nice class. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.